This is Hugh Dunstan.
And this is Tim Roberts. We're here today to continue our journey about the important roles of the high-demand amino acids that keep you active and healthy. Just want to remind you that indeed it was from our research laboratory that we came to understand the very important concept of needing these 6 amino acids each and every minute of each and every day to keep us active and healthy. Today, Hugh, we'll be looking at aspartic acid. Now, this is one that the body can actually make, so it's not one that we need to get in our diet, but could you perhaps start by describing why we need this amino acid in the diet?
Yes, so aspartic acid is used extensively in quite a number of roles in the body, which we'll allude to in a minute. And of course it's in protein synthesis, but it's also excreted at very high rates through the sweating process and urine. So because of this commonality in the high demand amino acids where they are required for protein synthesis, huge numbers of functional roles in the body, and high rates of excretion, then it makes it very important to consider these for supplementation.
Okay, yes. And that was our research, and that has been published, peer-reviewed, and therefore is, I think, the best sort of scientific evidence that is out there. Let's have a look, though, now at what areas of health are associated with having a good supply of aspartic acid in the body.
Sure. So aspartic acid, and I should say that this is the 6th of the high-demand amino acids in our series. And this completes the review of the 6 high-demand amino acids. So aspartic acid, like ornithine, plays a critical role for removing waste nitrogen. We talked about this in the last podcast. This is the urea cycle, and aspartic acid plays a critical role in donating a nitrogen to facilitate the formation of a very important amino acid called arginine. So same sort of role in helping to drive that removal of the waste nitrogen so that we don't get that build-up of ammonia in the body, which then, if it does build up, leads to significant fatigue and impaired brain function. Now, it was also directly used as a nerve transmitter, and it also serves as a precursor to other nerve transmitters in the body. So it's very important for healthy nerve function and brain function. It can also enhance the major processes of energy metabolism. It can be used, for example, to drive production of glucose when it's required by the body. And it can be completely oxidized as well to form that important metabolic energy of ATP. The recent evidence has shown that it's used in helping maintain the electrolyte balance, and that's chiefly its role in the sweating processes. And then, as a final example, I think most people would probably know that amino acids go to make proteins, and we have other components called purine and pyrimidine bases that go to form our DNA. But what people perhaps don't realise is that some of the amino acids, for example aspartic acid and glycine, are required to form these important bases that are the building blocks of DNA. So when we're talking about growth and recovery, we need to have a good supply, particularly of aspartic acid as well as glycine, to help form these important bases that are used to make DNA.
Thanks for that, Hugh. Very, very complex biochemistry there. Let's take it back down a notch and just, can you tell me why we might not be getting enough aspartic acid from the diet to match our requirements?
Sure. So we've talked before in previous podcasts about this catabolic response, and this occurs when the body needs amino acids to support either exercise or when you are fighting off an infection. This catabolic response is critical in providing the amino acids for the body to utilize under these conditions. So if you are highly active and if you are, for example, training hard in sport or trying to lead that healthy active lifestyle, you need a good supply of aspartic acid, because together with the other high demand amino acids, if you can actually reduce the demand for that breakdown of your body's own muscle proteins, then it's much easier to maintain muscle mass and indeed grow muscle mass if that's what you're wanting to do. And it's also reducing the recovery times. So if you're providing the high demand amino acids during the exercise, then you have less breakdown of your own muscle proteins, which means you don't have to rebuild as much during the recovery phase.
Thanks, Hugh. Just going to the science itself and the scientific journals, what types of benefits have been reported in scientific papers where aspartic acid has been studied?
So there are a number of studies done, and most of them focus around looking at improved endurance for performance. So this is in endurance sports, if you like. And also it's been studied a lot in terms of supporting growth and recovery. So people wanting to maintain and build muscle mass, recover from exercise, recover from illness, it's a very good amino acid to consider for those purposes.
As a supplement then, aspartic acid is one that should be looked at positively and carefully. That's it, Hugh. Thanks for joining us, you public out there today, and we hope you've enjoyed learning about aspartic acid. Remember, while we can make our own aspartic acid, highly active humans or those with chronic health issues may not receive appropriate quantities of aspartic acid to meet their daily requirements. So that brings us to the end of season 2. Look out for our next season in 2025, where we will look at some of the applications for taking high demand amino acids.
The HDAA, including aspartic acid, have been blended in the appropriate quantities in our Optimate and Electrate products. You can learn more about HDAA by typing HDAA nutrients into your search engine, and remember, HDAA for active humans.